Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
And I'm Cathrine, co-host, Bestie.
Oh, that was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's really hard to do.
Well, some things are. Well, we're excited because today is October 1st when we're recording.
Mm-hmm.
And that means fall is coming, which also means daylight savings time is coming, which also means it's going to get dark earlier.
Which also sometimes, for some people, leads to seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
Sad.
Sad. It is sad. It's sad to be sad. It is very sad.
It is.
That's our topic, friends, for today. Not to bring you down. We're going to bring you up.
Well, right.
We're going to bring you up. But that's what we do here at the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast is we take a topic and we bring it to you in the best way we can. We try to entertain you in a little way, somehow, sometimes, most of the time, every time.
Yeah, that's our hope.
Right. And we're curators of the internet. So we look for good information. And when it comes to something like this, because it does, seasonal affective disorder is in the family of mental illness, in the family of depression. And when it comes to something like this, I think it's really important for everyone to don't get your information from Tracy and Cathrine alone. Don't get your information from Facebook alone or from the internet alone. Go to a doctor. Talk to a doctor. Get your eyeballs in front of a doctor's eyeballs and talk.
Yeah. Or
And
Zoom.
Whatever way you got to do it. That's kind of like a disclaimer to take it seriously, to be proactive and not be afraid to just seek, help, get help.
Definitely. And we'll talk more about that in the end as well.
Yes, we will. We have sponsors. Who are they, Cathrine?
Oh, they are Kenny and Ron, which are Muffin and Pooh.
I thought you forgot my husband's name there for a minute.
No. I just said it that way, I guess.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, so it's our guys, our men,
Yeah.
our hubbies.
Sponsor everything we do.
They do.
Lunch is sponsored by them.
The gym. Massages.
Pedicures.
We're laughing because as we are recording, we're still in kind of the mode of our industry hasn't really gotten back the way that it was in terms of traveling and speaking and all of that. So we're waiting patiently, very patiently, for all of that to come back.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, they're just being very supportive and encouraging. And
they are anyway.
They
even
are.
Even if you weren't out there.
Yeah.
Bringing in the dough.
Right. So thank you to them. We are going to give our listeners an opportunity to sponsor. That's coming. I'm guessing we'll probably get that up and running within the next month or two. That's just a guess.
We'll make it a goal.
Yeah.
We'll have to.
Yeah. I'm saying it out loud for that reason.
Yeah.
So hold me to it, Cathrine.
Okay.
We'll got to research it and get it all figured out of how our listeners can support this podcast with money.
Right. Then Kenny and Ron, they could maybe have a little bit of a
break. Yeah, right. All right. Well, we have a couple takeaways from our episode today. And the first thing we're going to talk about is what is sad. So we're going to give you a definition and what are the symptoms. So that's section 1. Section 2, we're going to talk about the causes of SAD, seasonal affective disorder. And number 3, we're going to talk about how to cope with it and when to see a doctor.
Yeah.
So stay tuned all the way through so that you get the goodies on the practical, what to do about it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive in. What is it?
Well, seasonal affective disorder, which is SAD, SAD's the acronym for that, is a mood disorder that happens every year at the same time. A rare form of seasonal depression known as summer depression actually exists. Yeah, I wondered if you knew about that.
Yeah.
That can begin in the late spring, early summer, and ends in the fall. But for most people in general, Seasonal affective disorder starts in the fall or winter and ends in spring or early summer.
Okay.
Early summer. Have you ever been affected by it?
Well, I have suffered with depression, so it's hard for me to pinpoint, like, because I was depressed the whole year. So it's hard for me to know. I mean, I do feel more cheerful on a sunny day when the sunshine is shining around me, you know, and it's a pretty day, like a nice blue sky and white clouds, and a sunshiny day is like, I don't know, brings your mood up.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
They say.
Yeah.
Not that I'm the pro, but that's what I read. I have definitely been affected by it. I think that it started when I was going through puberty, and it just seemed, it happened to be in the fall that I can recall. And and so all the things that were horrible and, you know, mood swings and things like that were then. And it seemed like any time that something horrible happened, it was in the fall. Like a big fallout with Kenny when we were dating was in the fall. But I just dreaded winter and the cloudy days, and I just would get melancholy. So, but we'll talk more about the common
You know what's interesting
symptoms
about living in an environment that has 4 seasons? So we're from the Chicago area, and here we have very much so 4 seasons, you know, winter, spring, summer, fall.
Definitely.
And in the fall, as you were talking about going back to like childhood and thinking about like your preteen and then, you know, getting into adulthood, whatever, I remember just being excited about the fall because do you remember when TV used to have new fall programming?
Yeah, definitely.
And that was before all this where you could just zippity zap up a program on your phone or on your TV or your smart thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember the commercials that would be coming out and I would just be sitting there like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it was back to school time. So that meant, you know, maybe some new clothes and some new stuff, a new teacher. So for me, at least those memories are good. Like this is a change. It's different. And we're going into another season.
Yeah.
The winter thing, I really don't think that I have officially suffered from seasonal affective disorder. I think I just suffered from regular
Overall,
depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had both. In later years, I did have regular depression.
Yeah.
But definitely affected by, in fact, I would be bewildered when people would say, oh, I love it when the leaves are falling. I'm like, how could you? I just didn't see the beauty in it. I thought I saw the, you know, all of the inclement weather that was coming, and I dreaded it.
But, you know, isn't that interesting? Because everyone's perspective is based on their own perspective. And really what's going on inside of your brain, inside of your mind, affects everything.
Okay. It does.
All right.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else do we need to know about what it is and then the symptoms?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to point out that SAD may affect 11 million people in the U.S. each year.
Wow.
And 25 million more may have a milder form called winter blues, which I think I fall under that category.
Yeah.
For sure. But that's it in terms of what it is in a nutshell.
So it's just feeling depressed, feeling down, feeling blue, specifically when the seasons are going to less sunshine and colder weather.
Well, but it is possible to have the summer depression, that blew me away. Because most people, you know, they just crave to be closer to the equator, like me.
Yeah.
My cousin Christy. We're going to talk about some of the coping.
Okay. Well, what causes it? Or what are the symptoms and what causes it?
Well, some of the causes, they don't know exactly what causes SAD, but they do know things that they can associate it with. Some scientists think that certain hormones made deep in the brain trigger attitude-related changes at certain times of the year.
Those darn hormones.
I know.
They're like little Nazis inside of your body.
We have an episode.
In control.
Yes, we have an episode on hormones, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, it was one of the first 2 or 3 that we did.
Gosh, remember we had to record it like 3 times because we kept screwing it up. Whoopsies.
Yes. Was it that one or the emergency room one?
Well, definitely that one. We had to do it like 3 times.
That was in the beginning.
But it's just crazy how hormones drive so many things.
Absolutely. Our well-being and all kinds of things. Yeah. Experts believe that SAD may be related to these hormonal changes, which we were just saying. One theory is that less sunlight during fall and winter leads to the brain making less serotonin, a chemical linked to brain pathways that regulate the mood. And when they don't work right, can't even talk, it does bring the feelings of depression.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I can not only say for myself, but what I've read and also people I know who are affected by this, the cloudy days, they do, I mean, it's horrible when you do suffer from this. Also, it can also be that way in spring when it's rainy day after rainy day.
Yeah.
This is overwhelming kind of doom and gloom in a way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this before we came on. Well, we talked about it yesterday, but so Cathrine, if you aren't aware, her family's from England. Her mother's whole side of the family's from England.
Yeah.
And my son moved to England. My son, Luke, he moved there after college and he was a missionary there for about a year. And he lived in this area where if they had a sunny day, and it's a capital I, capital F, because the sunny days were so few and far between, like London fog, I guess, is a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's really gloomy, doomy. And he said if the sun came out, even for a minute, everybody stopped what they were doing, ran out into the streets and just laid flat out like in the grass.
Yep.
Just to try to absorb it.
Yeah. And they're always on holiday to get away from
the gloom.
England. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is amazing that the craving that people have for the sunny bright days was definitely true.
Yeah. I'm thinking about that video we watched on YouTube.
I wonder.
We can't repeat it here, but there's a funny Brit who's on YouTube and he's complaining about the weather and the traffic.
Yeah, he's driving in a car
in England.
Yeah, and the reason we can't repeat it is he's swearing
a lot.
But it is funny.
It is funny.
Yeah. It's interesting to point out, too, because of the lack of enough daylight during the winter time related to SAD, it's less often found in countries where there's plenty of sunshine year round. And England is not one of them. The London fog thing, it should say England fog, English fog.
Yeah.
And so
well, our hearts go out to you over there, Great Britain people, English people, whatever you call yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Another one of my sons lives in Denver where it's sunny like every single day. He loves it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I have relatives in Colorado as well, and they've always said that.
I've always thought Colorado was super happy because pot was legal, but it turns out the sun shines every day. So
I always thought it was because of high altitude, and they don't know what's going on.
It's all the above, literally.
Yeah. It's also worth mentioning that it's more common in women than men.
Well, of course it is because it's related to hormones.
Yeah, but men have hormones.
Yeah, but their hormones are more steady. Our hormones. Okay, yeah. But
it's true.
Okay, but think about it. Like when you were saying that it's a hormonal imbalance that really does. Okay, so I'm thinking, well, maybe I haven't been officially diagnosed with SAD. However, I am a female and I used to get the worst PMS. And that's just your body. It's just your hormones shooting off these different whatevers. And I used to actually have to color on the calendar with a pink highlighter when my PMS days were coming. And I would tell the whole family, you see the pink calendar days?
Wow.
Don't come near me on those days.
I never knew that.
I had
all
to.
These years, and this is the first I'm hearing of it.
I was stressed out, Cathrine.
No, I know that, but you've talked many times about your stressed out days. I never heard that one.
Well, that's the truth.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah.
I could see it on your face.
Don't make me get butch.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't. Do you ever see The Incredible Hulk? He transforms.
Butch is my dad, and he passed away. but we joke about me having an inner butch, and he's angry. And you don't want to see butch.
Elf.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Jinx. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
What are we doing? The symptoms?
Yes.
All right. So people who have the winter symptoms with SAD, they typically sleep much more than usual and crave, wait for
chocolate.
Carbohydrates.
Well, of course they do. Donuts.
Guilty.
Pancakes.
Bread. Come on. Just bread even. Like me, I get up, I get a piece of bread with a piece of cheese and a scoop of peanut butter, like every night.
You gotta give the body what the body calls for.
Well, now I think we're trying to break that.
Oh, that's right.
Aren't we?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
But I was a little bit surprised to see that, and also I felt like, oh, I have a reason. Anyway, they may also have normal warning signs of depression, including feeling sad, cranky, or hopeless, less energy, trouble concentrating, fatigue, greater appetite, which I'm going to go back to that in a minute, more desire to be alone, thoughts of suicide, and weight gain. Whereas the summer symptoms, you have less of an appetite, in trouble sleeping and weight loss. But apparently, according to this, not as many symptoms with the summer one. Oh.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell. And it's not a separate mood disorder, but it is an actual it's a type of major depression or bipolar disorder,
It can be quite serious.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm glad that we're having this conversation, because I myself, having had some pretty significant seasons of depression, I would call them seasons, because I'm not currently in that state of mind, but I have had some pretty significant bouts with it. We as a culture and as people, we really need to continue to have conversations about this, and to encourage our fellow human beings out there to find the help that is available, find the professional help.
Yeah, you've definitely suffered from it. Me too. I mean, hence the name, life happens, laugh anyway. Finding, ways to cope and deal with these things that come at us, or feel like they're on top of us, rather. Yeah.
And in my experience, I've had just a couple of people, Christian people, who had, now this was back in the 80s and 90s, so this is going back a long ways. But they believed that Christians were not supposed to take medication for depression. And maybe there are still people that have that frame of mind. I disagree with that mindset. They felt like if you just gave it to the Lord and prayed about it, and just basically like picked yourself up by the bootstraps type of thing, that you should be able to beat it. The science doesn't show that.
No,
there's help. There's real medication that can change the way that your chemicals are in your head.
And really, that is we are giving it to the Lord, and the Lord is providing professionals in your pathway to prescribe these things.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I disagreed with the philosophy then, and I disagree with it still. I respect everybody has their own opinion, but I would encourage anybody listening, if you're suffering with any sort of depression, any kind, we're going to talk about how to, when to see your doctor.
Yeah. We'll talk about Gibby too.
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So those are the symptoms.
All right.
I want to add, though, it doesn't say this on here, but I know that this is not only the case with myself, but many others that I've talked to. You actually do dread the upcoming months and the clouds. And sometimes, even just seeing leaves falling off.
Well, it's coming.
You know it's coming.
It's kind of like the fee fi fo fum. You hear it, you feel it, you sense it, you've had it before, And so you
PTSD.
Yes, that's what it is. It's PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So we're talking now about some treatments and coping methods, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm doing is scrolling through ads to get after. Okay.
And we are going to link in the show notes. We're going to have a couple of different links. One is going to be to a WebMD article on seasonal affective disorder. Another one is a Mayo Clinic article on the same. And then I found a video of Bob and Brad, the most famous physical therapists on the internet. They're funny.
Yeah.
So they just give their take on it. One of them, their daughter, suffered with seasonal affective disorder. So I'm going to link that. So it's an 11-minute video, and it's kind of entertaining.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Well,
listen to us first, then put that on.
Yeah. They have a really neat channel. I've gone to their channel before I have some back issues, and they show exercises and stretches that can help prevent you from throwing your back out. Another thing that helps is don't lift anything. So there's your excuse. I can't help you move. Why not? I can't lift anything.
Okay. Says Bob and Brad.
Came off the internet.
Two guys on the internet who say
they're physical therapists.
PTs. Yeah. You're a true believer, I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Different treatments. Treatments do differ depending on how severe your symptoms are. The type of treatment you get also depends on whether you have another type of depression or bipolar disorder. Traditional antidepressants are normally prescribed. There's only one medication, and let's see if I butcher it, bupropion XL. Anyway, that's the only one that's specifically for the seasonal disorder. But now this is not on this particular website, but I have learned along the way that other ways of coping are if you're able, get near the equator, take a vacation. And that is why.
Go south.
Go south if you live north. Yeah. Just get closer to the sunshine. But light therapy is a method. And that helps with the hormone, melatonin, which we won't get into all the weeds of all of that, but and getting out early in the morning. And for some reason, if you get out early in the morning, it just, even if it's cold out and even if it's cloudy, it somehow is a booster to the mood. And those are really the only coping mechanisms before seeing your doctor.
Well, and when you're talking about light therapy, yes, there's getting up and getting outside as early as possible to see if you can, squeeze some sunlight out of the actual sun. But there are also electric lamps.
Yeah.
You can purchase a light therapy lamp or box or something like that.
Yeah.
And Bob and Brad were talking about that on their little video.
Yeah, that's on this website as well. About this box, light therapy box.
Yeah. And they also, even you may not realize how much a lamp can do or the proper lighting in a room. They also mentioned on the Bob and Brad thing to open up the shades. It might seem... That's exactly what I was thinking. It might seem obvious. But open up all the curtains and shades and turn on the lights and start to just remind your brain that you're alive.
I'm such a, bright light person that when I go in other people's homes and everything is drawn, I literally am like, yeah, you gotta open it. And oh my gosh, the previous house that we had windows everywhere. And I specifically, when we were, our house was new, we had built it. And I specifically wanted the backyard to face the south so that we would have that sunshine all day long. And we did. Yeah. Anyway, we had windows everywhere, humongous, and French doors. And for the longest time, I didn't even have any window treatments at all. And I can recall my mom saying, you're going to save energy if you have these. And I thought, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll pay whatever it costs. I'm not going to save energy and block the sun.
Yeah.
You can't make me.
So it's important for us to have a fair amount of light. Show me the light.
Yes.
All right. What else for coping?
That's it.
Okay.
But you have a real good one.
I do have a real good one. Before I get to that, I want to share a couple of other things that Bob and Brad said on their video.
All hail Bob and Brad.
Bob and Brad, the most famous physical therapists on the internet,
so
according to them.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, and I did see this in some other research too, is they talked about purpose. And, you know, I think that overall in general, people who are struggling with depression, if they're lacking clarity on their purpose in life, it can really bring them down. So you could do some internal work on your purpose. And if you're in a season that doesn't seem like it has purpose, you can really try to dig deep to find a deeper meaning in whatever it is that you're doing. There's benefit, and we talked about this in one of our other episodes of the sleep episode. Going to bed at the same time every day, waking up at the same time every day. There's a health benefit there. Of course, they talked about nutrition and exercise.
Yeah.
And, you know, nutrition and exercise, that's another one that's like, duh, no kidding. We all know it.
We know it.
But we need these reminders that our human beings, are mind, body, spirit. We can't separate one from the other. It's all mixed in.
Yeah.
So we, proper vitamins, making sure you're getting enough vitamin D. Vitamin D is something that we all kind of suffer from.
Yeah.
Not having enough of.
Were you there this morning at the gym? I think you were left already. And the ladies were talking about all the vitamins they're taking.
Oh, good.
Yeah, to feel better.
Good. Yeah, Cathrine and I are part of a gym that's affiliated with the hospital.
Yeah.
And there's also a physical therapy like station or clinic in the building. And it's a lot of older people that are in our gym, older than, maybe my age.
There's
my
young
age.
people too, but we sign up for the
Old
more
person
senior
classes.
type classes.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that all of us are doing something positive for our health, because we take the swimming classes and we also do weight training for not only, like, the bikini ship sailed a long time ago, right? I'm 55. I'm not going to put on no bikini. I've had 5 kids. I shop for my bras in the shoe department. Everybody knows that. I'm not going to put on a bikini, but I want to be able to stay vertical. Like, I just want to be able to walk down the street without falling down. I want balance.
Yeah.
We do a lot of muscle strengthening for good balance.
Yeah. My husband, Kenny, was just telling me the other day that you can work out for the longest time and be really strong, and you can lose your strength pretty quickly.
Yeah, you do.
I didn't realize how quickly, though.
Yeah.
I thought, surely it can't be that quickly. And he's like, oh, yeah, because we were talking about him not being at the gym because he's helping our son build his house.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, no. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing. Now, this is something that Bob and Brad did not talk about, which I was like, what?
Why didn't you?
Yeah. I believe, especially as a comedian, I do believe that laughter has profound ability to help us through all kinds of things, especially depression.
Yeah.
And I have kind of given that as a prescription for people who, I've done different talks on depression and laughter and how laughter can help. When you laugh, okay, first of all, when you laugh, it's a spontaneous combustion of your brain. Your brain just kind of goes poof.
I needed that.
Yes. And then all these really cool chemicals, totally God-given, healthy, organic, natural chemicals coat your brain. And so it's like a balm for your brain. And at that moment, when the poof happens, this combustion, it's impossible for you to think about your problems. It's impossible for you to ruminate over, this is happening, that's happening, I don't have purpose, blah, 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 blah.
In the moment, yeah.
It feels great. And so my encouragement to myself, to you, to anybody listening is get more laughter in your diet. Get more laughter. So I had done this talk during the pandemic. I did some like these virtual comedy things. Anyway, this is a couple of points. I looked at the science of laughter. So here's a couple points from there. First of all, it's authentic laughter isn't voluntary. Like I just said, it's a spontaneous thing. It's an involuntary process in your body, and your body loves it. Second, laughter is social. So when you and I are in a room together and we're laughing together, it brings connection.
Or in a car.
Yeah. And this is stuff that's been studied.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one is humans aren't the only creatures who laugh out loud. I thought they were this whole time. But according to this research, it showed that certain types of apes and certain types of rats laugh out loud.
Rats?
Yeah. I don't know how they could tell they're laughing out loud, but
I don't know how they... No. Not the hyena either? Laughing hyena?
I'm just going by the research, Catherine.
Yeah.
Okay, fourth one. Laughter is universally, so across the country, across cultures, lifestyles, it's universal in the human being. It's a sign of a positive emotion. You're never going to laugh and have it be a negative emotion. Because, sometimes you can cry and it can be a multiple different emotions that you're expressing.
Yeah.
With laughter, it's universally a sign of a positive emotion. Number 5, face-to-face or even FaceTime or Zoom face-to-face. So that kind of interaction got the most laughter in a study that they did. Recorded voice came in second place and text received last place. So if you're reading jokes in a book, that's not as impactful as face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, the way God intended it to be.
I think so. If this pandemic would just get going. Number 6, married couples who handle stress in their life with laughter reported that their relationships were more satisfying and they stayed together longer.
I'm just thinking of the times where Kenny and I have been just, almost ready to
battle.
Snap, and then all of a sudden, one of us, usually Kenny, will start laughing about
something
dumb.
dumb.
Yeah, how ridiculous it might be.
Yeah.
It does break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does break it up.
Yeah. Number 7, females in the study laughed more than males. Okay. Number 8, humans can easily recognize fake laughter versus authentic laughter. So they tested that. They had them listen to authentic laughter and then they had them listen to fake laughter and they could easily pick it out. Number 9, laughter is contagious.
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I love it when somebody has a good, hearty laugh.
And this is so interesting because these were brain scientists who did all this research. And it says that there's a module in the brain that replicates the laughter. So when you're with me and let's say you're cracking up and I may not even have heard the joke or know what but just the fact that you're laughing so hard and I'm seeing you laugh it, there's something in my brain that's going to replicate that. And then pretty soon it's coming out of me.
You know what I'm thinking of?
What?
When Kenny is making himself laugh. And, when he does that Huckleberry Hound laugh.
Yeah.
Wow. It really gets us all going because he
does.
can't breathe. His face is red. And it's usually the dumbest thing.
Right. Researchers could see parts of the brain preparing to jump in and join the laughter of others.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then finally, number 10, comedy is a relationship with an audience.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
Somebody get her a stage.
I know. Please hurry. So I believe that laughter is super important. And one of the things that I have encouraged people to do if they are struggling with mild depression or just boredom, or even if it's major depression, of course, like I said, see your doctor and get the proper care. Also, in addition to that, consume humor. Become a humor consumer. Yeah.
We haven't been saying that.
I say it every single
I probably just so used
time.
To it. Every consumer.
Okay. 100% of the time I say, welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens Laugh Anyway podcast.
Yeah.
I'm comedian Tracy DeGraaf. Anyway, consume humor. And sometimes I think we just need permission to laugh. I am giving you permission to take some time out for yourself and find the things that you find funny and watch them, consume them, listen to them. If you go on Pandora and you put in, clean comedy or PG comedy or whatever you like, it'll come up. You can just listen to that. Or you can go on YouTube and watch all kinds of sitcoms, whatever.
You can put on Comedy Central on the TV.
Yeah. Just become a humor consumer and let yourself laugh. Kids have no problem laughing, right? Children laugh like all day long.
I love it when babies laugh.
Yeah.
When they first start laughing.
Yeah.
So great.
I like the TikTok babies on TikTok, and they have babies on there. I think they're funny.
Yeah.
So that's the call to action today, is for you to do that, to consume some humor, so that you're going to feel better. And what better way, Cathrine, than for them to listen to all of our podcasts?
Right.
Because this one is number 45. So that means they have 44 other episodes to hear me say, welcome back, humor consumers. Was there anything else that you wanted to add to the conversation?
Well, not in regards to the coping, but just basically when to see a doctor.
Yeah. So what say you?
It's normal to have some days when you feel down, but if you feel down for days at a time, you can't get motivated, and these other methods are not working, and you can't even do your activities normally and that you normally enjoy, it's time to see your doctor.
Yeah.
And it's especially important if your sleep patterns and appetite have changed, or you turn to alcohol for comfort or relaxation, or you feel hopeless and think about suicide. Of course, you should see your doctor.
Yeah. 100%.
Just do it.
Yeah. Don't be afraid. Just call the doctor up. Tell them I'm feeling blue. Get out their little prescription pad. Send you, to the pharmacy. Get yourself some, I don't know whatever they give. And maybe go even see a counselor. You might.
Yeah. We're still going to do an episode on depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it some more.
More in depth.
I look forward to that.
All right.
That's it.
Okay. Well, we have some inspiration from the Psalms. Let's see. I didn't put it up here on my computer. Sorry. It's Psalm 34, verses 17 to 18. And let me call it up. It says this: the righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And when the verse says he delivers them from all of their troubles, he can use multiple ways to deliver us from pain in life. And many times that includes the help of a professional person who can walk alongside us with it in terms of counseling, as well as perhaps a doctor, as we mentioned over and over, with medication. So please don't think that just means pray it away. That's not what I'm seeing there.
Take it in the name of Jesus.
Right. You said we were going to talk about the jibby.
Yeah.
Tell them real quick what a jibby is.
So jibby stands for Jesus isn't back yet. Because
JIBY.
Right. And we just add the extra B. So we know he's coming back, and you went to your doctor, right?
Yep.
And you needed a refill, and your doctor asked you, do you still need this?
Yeah.
And you said, look out the window.
Do you see Jesus?
He's not back yet. So yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My doctor went to church with me, so he knew me very well. And we would joke. He knew that I had 5 boys, of course. And he was like, oh, man, I thought you'd be in here for depression a long time ago. What took you so long? Like, just be quiet and give me the medicine. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Our next episode next week is going to be on Thanksgiving.
Oh, wonderful.
One of my favorite holidays because there's no gift giving involved.
Yeah, well.
The gifts make sometimes it all like hard.
Yeah. It's funny with the title, Thanksgiving. We're giving because we're thankful, but we're giving in meals.
Yeah, we have a feast, a big old party.
Yeah.
Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
I'm still Cathrine.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.